Right now with more analysis, Republican Congresswoman from Tennessee, a member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Representative Diane Black. Good to see you, Congresswoman.
It's great to be with you.
Tell us what you're cooking up.
Well, my role and responsibility as budget chair is to make sure that the budget matches what's in the Senate and to make sure that our members understand what is in the budget from the Senate and that this is important because it is the golden key to tax reform. So I've been speaking a lot with the president and the vice president and making sure that we're all on the same line of thinking, and I think we're making real progress.
So when you say real progress, what's that timetable look like?
Well, what we're hoping is that we'll be able to take up the Senate's budget this coming week. Tomorrow I will be in Rules, and on Wednesday we'll be bringing it out to the committees, and Thursday should be the vote. So we're hoping this week that will be done, and then we can move into releasing the tax plan.
I know you want the middle-class tax cut. You heard us just talking to Grover Norquist, who's concerned that not all Americans will get a tax cut, and there will effectively be a surcharge on anyone making over $1 million. He says it's one of the 20th dumbest things he's ever heard. Walk us through what people are talking about, what you think is right, and what you're hearing there on Capitol Hill when it comes to hitting the wealthy.
Yes. And look, first of all, I'm on the Ways and Means Committee, and I can tell you we've spent a lot of time. There are a lot of dials, and so when you dial one way, it affects something else on the other side, and you have to dial the other way. So there are no firm decisions yet about what that top number will be. But I want to emphasize that this really is a plan to make sure that the middle income taxpayers are really helped, because we want them to get jobs. We want the small businesses to be able to produce more jobs. And so at the end of the day, we'll see what happens with that.
So how would, socking it to the rich help you with the middle class?
Well, I don't know that you would call that socking it to the rich if there wasn't a decrease in the marginal rate, because there are some other things that will help those who are at the higher income level. And I'm always careful about calling people rich, because what's rich? Is $1 million rich? Is $10 million rich? Is $1 billion rich? So I want to be careful about that. But we really want to be sure that let me go back to, there are some pieces in there besides just the marginal rates, such as getting rid of the AMT. There are some other pieces in there that do help those that are at the upper income.
Okay. What about the SALT issue, state and local taxes?
Yeah.
Are people still going to have the ability to deduct their state and local tax in the version you're drafting up?
Yeah, that still hasn't been determined for sure either. That is something that is a big issue for those states that have very high taxes at the local level and the state level. But there is also an argument that if you have a low tax state and they are not getting that same benefit, is that fair and equitable across the line?
I think it's a fair question, for sure. I mean, otherwise you run the risk that Texas, they're paying their federal income tax, and in New York, you kind of are getting a bit of a subsidy, right?
That's right.
I mean, I'd hate to lose it, but I think when you're talking about fairness, you got to look at all these things.
Well, when you take a state like mine in Tennessee, where we have very low property taxes and we keep them that way, it doesn't benefit us.
Well, Congresswoman, we wish you luck. I hope you get that timetable that you so desire, and maybe we'll see something this year. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Black.